Have you ever felt that something was wrong? That the way we live today, with its endless rush, its isolation and its noise, isn't how life was meant to be? Have you ever sat in traffic surrounded by strangers and wondered why the rhythms of your days feel so disconnected from anything real, anything meaningful? Have you ever longed for a life where your friends and family were close, where every face was familiar and the ties that bound you to others were unbreakable? And have you ever noticed that when you step away from it all, when you find yourself camping in nature, cooking over a fire, surrounded by laughter and the quiet hum of the wilderness, it feels right in a way the modern world never does? What if those feelings aren't a coincidence? What if they're a clue, a reminder of a life we once lived, a way of being that humanity thrived in for hundreds of thousands of years before civilization took hold? What if the world we've built isn't the pinnacle of human progress, but a detour, one that has left us more alienated, more unwell, and more disconnected than ever before? This is the story of us, where we came from, how we got here, and what it has cost us. A story that begins not in the cities or empires of civilization, but in the forests and open plains where we first learned to live in harmony with the world and each other. Humanity's story is often framed as one of relentless ambition. From the first spark of fire to the towering skyscrapers of modern cities, we celebrate our ingenuity and capacity to shape the world. This narrative of progress is one we tell with egoic pride, a tale of mastery over nature, of the triumph of civilization. For thousands of years, we have told ourselves that civilization is the ultimate achievement of humanity. And yet now, at our supposed most advanced state of existence yet, we face growing crises, climate instability, mass extinction, and widespread suffering. The survival of our species is now in question. What if, in our quest for control, civilization has failed to meet even our most basic needs as human beings? Indeed, we must ask, what if civilization was a mistake? Civilization has only existed for only 4% of the time Homo sapiens have been on Earth. For the bulk of our existence, humans lived as hunter-gatherers, an existence profoundly different from the one shaped by modern civilization. Small, mobile groups thrived not through domination or accumulation, but by working within the natural rhythms of their environment. Survival was a communal effort, requiring cooperation, reciprocity, and trust. Resources were transient and shared, possessions were few, and wealth as we understand it today simply did not exist. In this way of life, the emphasis was on balance, with each other and the world around them, rather than competition or individual accumulation. Anthropological studies, such as those by Richard B. Lee in The Dobju Hoanzi and Marshall Sahlins in Stone Age Economics, reveal that hunter-gatherers experienced what Sahlins famously called the original affluent society. While modern perspectives often frame their lives as harsh or precarious, evidence suggests that hunter-gatherers typically enjoyed abundant leisure time, diverse and nutritious diets, and social structures that minimized inequality. By meeting their needs through collaboration and ecological harmony, they avoided many of the stresses that plague modern humans. Most notably, the conditions under which hunter-gatherers lived were not conducive to many of the mental and physical health issues now endemic to industrialized societies. Chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and obesity were virtually non-existent, as were many of the mental health disorders that are widespread today. The absence of sedentary lifestyles, processed foods, and the relentless pressures of modern social hierarchies shielded them from the systemic stresses that contribute to these ailments. Research from anthropologists and public health scholars points to several reasons for this stark contrast. Hunter-gatherers maintained highly active lifestyles, with movement embedded in daily survival tasks such as hunting, gathering, and crafting. Their diets were diverse, rich in wild plants, lean meats, and natural fats, providing balanced nutrition that sustained long-term health. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer populations, such as the Hadza of Tanzania, show that they rarely suffer from metabolic disorders like obesity, or type 2 diabetes, which are rampant in sedentary industrialized societies. Chronic stress, a major driver of anxiety and depression in modern societies, was rare among hunter-gatherers. Without rigid hierarchies or the pressures of accumulating wealth, individuals were less likely to experience the chronic social stressors that arise from inequality and competition. Additionally, living in close-knit cooperative groups provided a sense of belonging and emotional support that is often lacking in modern individualistic cultures. In his book Tribe on Homecoming and Belonging, Sebastian Junger explores how the social structures of hunter-gatherer societies fostered strong community bonds and reduced loneliness, which is a significant factor in modern mental health crises. For hundreds of thousands of years, our species lived and are arguably designed to function best, biologically speaking, as hunter-gatherers. Societies were typically egalitarian, making decisions collectively and sharing resources to ensure group survival. This minimized resentment and conflict over wealth or power disparities. Studies of the Kungsan people show that practices like food sharing and collective child rearing maintained group cohesion and reduced stress. Unlike modern societies, where power imbalances foster feelings of inadequacy and exploitation, hunter-gatherer life rarely involved dominance, creating a social environment less prone to chronic emotional distress. 10,000 years ago, the harmony we experienced as a species began its long journey to the suffering we experience now in the modern world. The so-called agricultural revolution marked a turning point. As Yuval Noah Harari states, it was history's biggest fraud, offering more food but requiring more work, leading to harder lives and increased population under worse conditions. Surplus food led to materialism and inequality, with those controlling resources gaining power. This shift brought significant consequences. Sedentary living, overcrowding, and poor sanitation introduced new diseases, while diets based on staple crops caused nutritional deficiencies. The transition from nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyles to settled agricultural societies fundamentally transformed human existence, bringing profound suffering. In hunter-gatherer communities, conflicts were typically small-scale and resolved through mediation, maintaining an egalitarian and cooperative social structure. However, with the advent of agriculture, permanent settlements emerged, concentrating resources and populations. This shift led to the rise of organized warfare, as neighboring groups competed for land and resources. Alongside warfare, sedentary societies established centralized authorities that institutionalized torture and harsh punishments to maintain social order. These centralized power structures introduced systematic and often brutal methods of control, starkly contrasting the more communal justice approaches of hunter-gatherers. In modern times, hunter-gatherer societies are nearly extinct along with the invaluable wisdom they held. It is only a matter of time before they disappear entirely. Modern civilization has established systems that generate widespread stress, inequality, and alienation. Rigid hierarchies and relentless competition foster pervasive anxiety, depression, and chronic diseases, natural consequences of a lifestyle that clashes with our evolutionary heritage. Civilization charts an unsustainable course of resource depletion and environmental degradation. Civilization can be likened to a cage, much like animals confined in zoos. Modern humans find themselves pacing in office cubicles, endlessly scrolling through screens and retreating into various distractions, mirroring the lethargy and anxiety of caged animals. The vast, open landscapes our ancestors navigated have been replaced by cramped cities, fracturing the close-knit communities that once provided support and connection. The relentless pursuit of growth has driven climate collapse, species extinction, and extreme inequality, with billions living in poverty, while a select few amass immense wealth. Civilization's promise of progress has come at a staggering cost, endangering both the planet and humanity's future. If we do not alter our trajectory, we risk joining the ranks of countless civilizations that have risen and fallen, ultimately facing potential collapse and extinction. The narrative of progress has increasingly become one of decline. Civilization has reshaped the Earth, bringing environmental destruction and social alienation. Yet, humanity continues to yearn for connection, purpose, and harmony with nature. To avert our own undoing, we must rethink our path and embrace a future that prioritizes balance and well-being over domination and materialism. If you found this video meaningful, please like and subscribe. Thank you.